Okay, hello. I'm going to try and do this quickly. This is just a follow-up to the last video. I forgot to include something that also tied back into May Day. I'm just going to show it here real quick. We'll also talk about a couple other things to do with May Day that's in previous donkeys years ago videos. But I know I've got new people and, people don't know what I've talked about before because they ain't going to go through hundreds of crap videos that I've done in the past. So, right here, what we've got going on. This is Diana. At this point, we're looking at this being Diana, okay? Be quiet, Erica Kirk people in the comments, please. This is Diana. This is Easter. This is the Last Supper. This is the 12 Apostles round. Here's the Easter Bunny, the eggheads for the Easter, okay? This apple is going to roll away. The fruit of Diana is Prince William. This is Prince William right here. And this apple's going to roll over. We're going to see where it ends up, okay? Now, as that does that, let's just look at this, okay? Follow the white rabbit occurs here. So we'll look at the dollar bill in a little bit as well, because this is a reference in the dollar bill. What else we got going on here? I mean, there's several other things like the fishtail here, like the whales. There's also this yin yang thing, which also ties us into James Bond. I showed you the Saved by the Bell clip from Die Another Day. Lady Diana, Die Another Day. The date that's coming up is a reference to Dying Another Day and to Princess Diana's death date as well, but it's quite a bit to explain. But the yin yang is actually on the gateway as the hovercraft goes over the edge in that scene when Pierce Brosnan grabs hold of the bell and then he's ringing the bell, okay? Anyway, let's watch what happens here, okay? This rolls across the floor and it's going to pass this like a number 7 and what appears to be like a C, okay? And it's a bit of a funny angle and everything here, okay? But we know that's Diana. I showed you this before. Actually, let's just back that up just for 1 second so you can just see where the apple just leaves her, okay? Right here, let me show you this because there's an image of Diana. Where the hell have I got that image of Diana? Right here. This is her pregnant with Will, and she's fallen asleep because she's supposedly pregnant, okay? Now look at that. Now look at this, okay? You can see the similarity. The apple is William. It rolls across the floor. Also note that the apple makes the 007, before I forget to mention that as well. 007, 007, okay? And also coming up on the 16th, Pierce Brosnan will be, this C here and 7, he will be, you've changed that to a 3, he is going to be 73 on the 16th, and that is exactly, oh blimmin' hell, let's just get a thing up here, that is exactly 16363 days from the White Wedding, okay? And this number in itself is a reference to the White Wedding, okay? When I say the White Wedding, I'm talking about the White Wedding of Charles and Diana, which happened on 7/29/81, okay? Been that a minute. Let's just back this up just a second, a little bit, because what? Let's get that off a minute. Let's just do this. I want to actually show you something. So as this, watch this apple as it comes across. Oh, it's all right. Hang on a minute. Let's just hang on. It hits Obama's foot here and rolls back a little bit. Okay. So computer is just really struggling at the minute. I had to get rid of a bunch of tabs and I still got a million tabs up there. But it hits Obama's foot and rolls back a little bit. So it kind of comes here and goes back. Note that under Obama's foot is believe it's an Australian crown. So there's a reference to a crown here, that coin that's under his toe there. And we did some other stuff with crown, okay, 73 or 37 or whatever it is in the gematria, which is right here as well. But if you notice the black, let me just draw this in for you so I can show you. If you notice the black is actually just a little bit lighter, the number 7 here is a little bit lighter than the black square, so it's easy to pick out. Now, if I draw this, oh, goodness me, see if I can do it, make it look reasonable. If I start drawing this C round, right, that's as far as we see, right, as far as we see. We can kind of, there's no real definition to the end of this here. There is to this end, right here where my cursor is now, but this other end, there's no sort of mark there. So what we could do, this is a bit stretched for some people probably, but we could, because it's almost the same colour as that white, we could say it disappeared into the white there, and it should have been drawn like that. And then you've got 27, and actually it looks pretty reasonable for a 27. You know, it looks like the kind of right size. Okay, even with my terrible drawing over the top of that. So we could say it's a hidden 27. I know that's a stretch. The apple kind of comes this way and then goes back a little bit. But anyway, let's do that number jump. 27 days from Easter, that's where we were starting at, brings us to May Day. May Day is today, actually. Okay, and May Day is the what? The crowning. Let's see if I can do. May Day is the crowning of the May Queen. It's all to do with Mary and the crowning of Mary, or the crowning of the May Queen. May is Mary. Okay, there's the old maypole there, which usually has a little circle or crown at the top of it, and a stick. Okay, symbolism for what? Phallic symbolism and Vesica Pisces at the top of there, feminine and masculine. Okay, and this intertwinement here with the ribbons or whatever go around it. Okay. Also, one other thing with May Day, it's the original time of year for Labor Day. Okay, for some reason the Americans wanted to do the start of September. Okay, but now when we're talking about Labor Day, we're double meaning on the word there. We're using it to think about giving birth, going into labor and giving birth. So of course I've talked about this a million times before with the Hoover Dam and everything, because the idea of the Hoover Dam breaking is giving birth, coming out of the matrix, death and resurrection. All this stuff's the same stuff. It's all about taking back your freedom, okay, becoming sovereign, okay, becoming king, right? May the 1st is, and maybe this is why, is twinned with, so May Day is the 121st day of the year. September the 1st is 121 days left in the year. Okay, so May 1st and the 1st of September is, what want to say? They're twin dates. Okay, so it's important. And that's St. Giles's Day. Personal references to me with St. Giles's Fair that they have in Oxford. And there's also some 9-1 references we're going to come across here. We've been talking about 9-1. And also if you reflect 9-1, you can get the word pi as well. Okay. So yeah, let's go back. I mean, 9-1 last year, I was getting a lot of stuff for that date last year as well. I mean, it's just, you know, there's just tons of stuff. Anyway, we've done the 27-day jump. This is really important as well. 27, if you recall, we had a lot of tie-ins with 4-5 and 4-4 with Prince William. when we were checking out coming up to Easter, and that also tied in with Ozzy Osbourne. And again, the 2-7 that numerology ties in with Ozzy Osbourne's death. Okay, so the Black Prince, which is the Prince of Wales, all this stuff ties together as well with previous decodes. Right. So the Mayday reference. What else have I got to say in here? This thing splits open, which gives us the 007. Excuse me, I had a cough, man. That gives us the 007, right? So if I just there's our 007 there. And then what comes up out of there is, now this is Eastern kind of rebirth, in the Eastern side of culture or cultures. Now that is interesting again with Die Another Day, because they are dealing with North Korea. Okay, so I thought that was it's kind of an interesting connection with the 007, Die Another Day, and that thing resurrecting there. Also, one other thing, forgot to mention this. Forgetting stuff already. September the 1st. Remember that Diana died August the 31st, the day before this. 122 numerology on that as well. That's all. Die Another Day has a ton of 122 stuff. Okay, and of course we had all the references with 1022, which is 122 numerology, to do with Madonna and Eli Manning, and Peyton Manning, and yada yada yada. Okay, anyway. But the connection here with Die Another Day, and then going back to May Day, kind of interesting. So May the 2nd will be that other date. Okay, gone right by it. Right here. Remember the train, Diana's train was 25 feet long. Okay. Something else that's interesting is I should have got that number jump up before we started, but let me show you something else here. This is kind of the official crowning of Charlie Boy, the 6th of May 2023 through to this May Day today, 1091. Okay, 1091, and follow the white rabbit in the dollar bill. I'll show you this 1091 reference in the dollar bill, right? Also the 191 reference with, again, the twin date over to September the 1st, really interesting. But I come across this, which was back in May 21st, 2002. I guess Great Britain gave British citizenship to all the sort of territories around the world. Okay, and that, of course that includes Bermuda. And so I guess they just automatically now get a British passport. They become British citizens, and they can go and live in the UK, right? Which is pretty interesting, this idea of being allowed to come home with this date. Okay, homecoming, coming back to the mother. Okay, now think about that. Okay, I did a number jump, already gone by there. We did the number jump from 5/21/2002 when they're allowed to come home again, through to 5/1 today. Okay, and 1091 came up again as well for the prime there. Okay, so from Charlie Boy's crowning to the 1st, to the May Queen crowning. Okay, and then being allowed to come home, 1091 prime. An interesting little connection there, I think. I don't know if I'd read a little bit into it. But 191 numerology, again, the 191st composite is 245, which is in the dollar bill, to do with Follow the White Rabbit, just like the 19 is in there, Follow the White Rabbit. And funnily enough, 43rd prime, Charlie Boy I believe they went to Bermuda on the 30th of April, and they're spending a couple of days there. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this is I thought, you know what? I did mention this in the other video about him being in Bermuda and the end of Ipet Goat, which is, let's get rid of this, which is this reference here, where finally the character here gets crowned, okay? The Jesus character. People are, oh, it's the Antichrist or whatever. But anyway, that guy's going to get crowned, okay? And what happens is, I say he gets crowned, but the crown of thorns actually disappears. Let me show you here, though. This pyramid is going to get the top knocked off of it, which is the capstone, which is, cap is the head, okay? So this hit here, the top of the triangle here, Bermuda, these are out in the water here, out in the ocean. This is the cap being removed. The head of that place right now, the head of Bermuda, is actually the king. Okay, is actually King Charles. In fact, he's the head. He is the head of everything. Okay, even though they, without getting too technical, technically it's his. What government, right? Anyway, this thing's getting removed, just like if he was in Bermuda now, being removed, dying. Okay, the top of the Bermuda Triangle, where Bermuda is, where Prince Charles is, this thing getting hit. Well, that's the head of that is Prince Charles. He's the head of the crown right now. Okay, of the royal family. Okay, that thing being removed while he's in Bermuda. So today, later on today, tomorrow, and what I was saying is, I watched a little clip of something, and I'm like, the security does not look very good. This could be a pretty easy false flag thing going on here, Anyway, so yeah, right here, it's the, I believe on that oh blimey hell, that submarine thing, the Trump emblem. I don't think I've still got it up here. I don't. But that Trump, I thought it looked like a golfing tee. It was supposed to be a trumpet, if you know what I'm talking about. But this, look at this. I like it with the hole in one, with the golf reference here. Kind of nice as well. The golf flag. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I don't know if a golf flag is that way or square or what. It shows how much I know about golf. But anyway, I was just thinking about Trump again then. So that thing being removed, the capstone being removed, which would be Prince Charles, King Charles being removed, okay. Marginally interesting, isn't it? Let me show you something else that also ties into this. Okay, so I want to say it's right about here somewhere. Just watch what happens here. Let's just watch it.
Which, may I say, is a very considerable.
Notice what happens here. This mess up. This thing flips up, right? Now, listen to what he says right after this.
Improvement on the Boston Tea Party.
Okay, so the Boston Tea Party is referenced here with his little... How the hell he flipped that up, I do not know. Is it deliberate or non-deliberate? I'll let you tell me in the comments. But what we're going to do is look at the Boston Tea Party, the date of which 16th of December 1773. Okay, I've got it in here. 16th. I don't have it in here right. Hang on a minute. 16th of December 1773. Okay, this is a slightly different number to what I had before, but actually has the same numbers in it. Hang on, click that and see if there's anything interesting. 8901. Oh man, I had a bunch of 890. I had a bunch of 189 stuff. Anyway, I want to just point out something that's in here, which is the numbers, the 297 that's in here for the white wedding. Okay, that is really what's more important with this. And whatever I had up before was actually had similar numerology. 2, 9, and 7. 729 is the white wedding. Okay, so I thought that was marginally interesting. Let me just show you out. Let's just run some of these numbers out real quick. Actually, I want to run it out to the 9th, which was, what did I want to run to the 9th? Yeah, that's that date that we were looking at for potentially Donald Trump getting shot in the chest. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that could potentially be happening here. Okay, that isn't actually that interesting. Let's go to the 19th. Maybe the 19th was something major as well. I can't remember. Not really. Hang on a minute though. This day here. Now this is interesting. Okay, this is Pierce Brosnan. We're back to Pierce Brosnan. His birthday, when he will be 16363 days from the white wedding. Okay, he'll be 16363 days from the white wedding. Okay, this is referenced in with the Hoover Dam, the 163 with the Colne FC logo on the Hoover Dam, which is Ipet Goat 2. Okay, on the Hoover Dam. He will be that age from the white wedding. Okay, and that number itself is a white wedding number. It's 18 divided by 11, which is a reference to the golden ratio. Okay, and what else I want to say about this? May Day itself, with when you dance around the maypole, yeah, with the crown at the top and the pole, that is also a reference to phi, because the number phi, which is the golden ratio, this is an approximation of, it's not the 1.618033 yada yada yada, but this is an approximation of that. And phi is, I don't know how you do it, but it's something like that, or it's like this. Okay, so this is interesting with May Day, right? And of course the Space Needle. Yeah, anyway, get rid of that. Yeah, that is well interesting, and I feel like I had something else with Pierce Brosnan, but look at the number here. Look at the 29. The 29 is 11 and 18 reduced individually and added together. The 29 is that magic number, right, for the wedding. And of course, in Lucas numbers, it's the 7th Lucas number, which is the number after 11 and 18. It'd be easier if this was on the screen. But anyway, so 729 is a really important day, which was Charles and Diana's white wedding day. But that was quite interesting, all the different numbers that you get to there. What was this one? Oh, this is the other one I was going to show you, which is again Pierce Brosnan's birthday last year. Now, what is this to do with? This thing here. This is to do with, and this is through to the bell again. Remember, Pierce Brosnan grabs the bell as the hovercraft goes over the waterfall that looks like the dam breaking. Okay, so, and that is in the film Die Another Day. Lady Diana, Die Another Day, right? This is Pierce Brosnan's, I believe, he's 71 at this point, okay? 71 years old, and to the gifting of the bell, 713, okay? All of our Eli stuff, and don't forget old Donald Trump getting shot on that day. I mean, it's just round in circles with this stuff. But also, If we move on, we can do. Oh, the second comes out at 7:17, which is, of course, 1/7 is Diana's birthday. Okay, and I feel like Queen Camilla is 7. I think her birthday is the 17th of July. It's either that or the 10th or something like that. I think it's the 17th. Anyway, whatever. Kind of interesting with those dates coming up, right? What else did I want to say? No. I think we've done everything. That 1091 thing. Let me show you that in the dollar bill now. It's reminding me of that. Okay, let's do that. So I've got the dollar bill here. So you're probably like, well, you was rattling on something about 1091 down. Okay, when you make this fold here, and oh, by the way, that thing with Donald Trump and getting shot. Let me show you something here real quick. Haha. Oh, I don't have the number jumps in, but I'm trying to think now what that was. There are a couple of things in here. Number one, this thing right here. Now, come on, make that a bit bigger. That might be too big. This thing right here is a reference to the quarter. Okay, and the quarter is 25 cents. So there's a 25 reference already. Okay. And of course it can be several other different references, but there's a 25 reference straight away, right? So that's an important thing. Don't forget that's on the same side as the this is the up the top here. There's 7 leaves up here, there's 3 here, and there's 1 berry. 713 again. Again, that's with Donald Trump's head wound. Okay, now I've shown you that before. Anyway, I feel like I'm losing track of this now. If I can remember in my head, I don't think I can, but these are the bunny ears here and over here, and that's what follow the white rabbit is. It's jumping over to this side. Now when you do that, there's 1 berry here, 5 leaves, and 5 leaves. This is a 155. Or you could do it any other way. You could do 551 or whatever you want to do, right? But 155 is one of the number jumps in here. This also could be the 15th of May. Now, I'm just going to say, I've not got the number jumps in here, but I've had several bits and pieces that have come out on this date coming up. We're kind of in a little hotspot right now from May the 1st through to the 19th at least, maybe through to the 21st, is super hot for most of the days in that window there, right? Anyway, that's come up a lot, right? So this is following the white rabbit, jumping from one side of the dollar bill to the other, right? Anyway, let me get to the point. When you do that number jump, when you jump across, there's several things you can do, right? But one of these things you can do is you can fold on the little owl here. And the way I'll do this to show you is I will draw a line down through the little owl there, which would represent a fold line right here. And then I can bring that side over and fold it over to the other side of the dollar bill, you know, like the, whatever his name is, Kleck, did with the, I think he originally did it with the 20, and he has some Hoover Dam stuff with maybe the 50 or something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, yeah, with Jonathan Kleck. Is that his name, Jonathan Kleck? I don't know. He started all this money folding stuff off, I think. Anyway, when you fold that over, what you end up with there is you end up with, rotate 180, is a number 10 that joins us over and gives us a number 10 in there, and also gives us a number 11 inside there, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's also the word pi. Let's just undo that a second. You can see because I kind of got to cater to people that maybe haven't seen this before. But there's the P, and then this part here, the shield, which is the bulletproof vest, is the I. So that makes the word pi. 10/11 is the 314th day of the year. Okay, well, actually, it's November the, let's call it November the 10th, 314th day of the year. 314 is pi. Remember, 9/1 is also, if you mirror this, this is also 1919. Okay, 9/1. Let me show you where that is. So not only do you get that anyway, undo that. Right, so you can also, as you bring that across to make that fold, right, look at this. You've got to get this just in the right spot, right? And I can't remember the right spot is. It's kind of down the side of this one leaf where it's kind of flat, right before this little scroll right here. Okay, so you drop down through there where that leaf's kind of flat. Okay, and you cut the dollar bill there and you move it across, and what you'll find is you'll have one leaf. So you do that. Oh my goodness, Dan, come on. There it is. You kind of join it up like that. Now what have you got? Okay, now you've got some numbers here, a number here, because this leaf here, I don't know if you can make it out, but this leaf actually joined up. So you basically removed a leaf there. Okay, two became one at this point, right? Kind of interesting. And what you do is count these up: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 1 berry. It's kind of like a palm, yeah? You know all the references to, like, it looks like a hand, yeah? A palm. So there's been a lot of references to La Palma and, you know, all the palm references, okay? And the hand disappearing, like in Back to the Future, Marty's hand disappears as this comes across. And then it reappears. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, there's our, so that gives us 9/1 or 1/9 right before these two join up. Okay, I wanted to show that because there's our 10. This is important because there's our 10, blah blah blah, and there is our 1/9 or 9/1. Okay, so when we had those two numbers, like when we had that number, that becomes pretty interesting, that whole thing. And following the white rabbit, which is these dudes up here, pretty interesting for sure. Anyway, put that back there. Now, the other thing I was going to mention, which I got sidetracked, is 213, which is right here. That date, if you go from 213, I think that's what it is, and you go 85 days, which is the leaves and berries down here, it will take you to, I can't remember. I think it takes you to this side, which is 9/5. Okay, and there's actually the edge of a leaf here still remnant from a earlier rendition of this side of the dollar bill, right? And so this is actually kind of it. If you were just surface looking at it, you would say it's 8/5 again, 8 leaves and 5 berries, but actually there is a 9th leaf in there. So that takes you to 9/5. And then if you go, I think I'm getting this wrong, but yeah, that would be right. And then if you go on another, and so if you go from 213 now and you go 95, that will then take you through to, well, what do we have over here? I don't think we really have it over here, but it will take you over to the 19th of May. Okay, if you go 95 days. So, but this is interesting. If something were to happen with Donald Trump and also getting shot here on 9/5, That would be really interesting because it's right there. And also, the little owl here is in. That little owl is in Ipet Goat on the wall, and this looks like some kind of shield, or it could be a bulletproof vest. Okay, so if Donald Trump was wearing a bulletproof vest, okay, and he kind of got shot from coming through the night. This is 9-5 here, and he got shot right here, you know, connecting with the bulletproof vest, and this is the blood spraying out. Well, there wouldn't be any blood. Okay, because he's been saved by the bulletproof vest. This is what I'm thinking may happen. And there is another fellow, Mark Rubio. I don't know if you saw his, I think it was like Ash Wednesday thing or something. He had his deal on the forehead. And what was I going to say? I'm thinking. Mark Rubio, I believe in his gematria. I think it is. There is a 155 in there. Okay, and that would be kind of interesting if he were shot in the head. I don't know why. The only reason why I came up with that is because I just saw a picture of him the other day again with that cross on his forehead, like X marks a spot. And I just looked up his gematria, and 155 was in there. I was like, ooh, that could be interesting. Maybe Donald Trump gets shot and he gets shot, and maybe Donald Trump survives because he has a bulletproof vest on, but Mark Rubio wouldn't have a bulletproof vest on his head, so it wouldn't be good for him. I don't know. Anyway, that I just thought was interesting, especially the mark and the red. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for this decode. I honestly, it's just, you know, but the chances of all those things happening within this month, it's got to be pretty slim, doesn't it? It's got to be pretty slim. William getting crowned, then another assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and then something on 519 as well. Maybe the Space Needle coming down as well. Oh my goodness. Maybe just one of those things will happen, but which date will it happen on? I don't know. It would be pretty mental if all three things were to occur. Anyway, what else have I got in here? I think that's it. I've mentioned, I got some more stuff in here I'm looking at already. Yeah, I think that's it, to be quite honest. Again, I had May Day in there. I've still got that in here from the other day. We've talked about Labour Day, the 1st. Okay. May Day, A View to a Kill. Okay, this is absolutely loaded. We had some stuff out of it the other day. Again, this scene where they're up in the Eiffel Tower, Roger Moore ends up going through the boat thing and ruining the wedding cake on the boat as he's chasing Mayday. And Grace Jones is the actress's name, and Grace Jones, of course, Jones is a Welsh name, Prince of Wales, Welsh name, the one, Jones, John, the one, okay, Jonah, inside the whale, and her actual birthday is the 19th of May. So what date do you want to pick? May Day. Oh dear. And I don't know in the film, I'm not sure if I don't know what kind of mine it is that they are planting the great big bomb in. I don't know, I don't know if it's a silver mine or not. But that would be interesting if it was a silver. I feel like it might be a silver mine, because they go and look up the records in the county office or wherever, and they burn it down. Oh, anyway, I'm just thinking, is there anything else? I'm whiffle waffle talking while I'm thinking. We did the Boston Tea Party thing in there. We've done some interesting stuff there with that, and Piers Brosnan. I mean, he's so linked into this, and the GoldenEye stuff is so linked into it as well. I think that's it, basically, to be quite honest. Yeah. The top of the Bermuda tree is the head going to be destroyed. The royal family going to have a new king. Man, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? Okay. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on another one soon. All right. Cheers. Bye. Bye.